know. Oh, the lighting is actually good. All right. There we go. Let's see. All right. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Good morning. As you can probably tell, I'm not in the office today because it's horrible outside. So I am home, not just because we have a retreat, but because I'm not going outside. So I am, again, doing the computer and the talking. So I'm going to try my best to make as much eye contact as possible. Zoe is hanging out. Roxy doesn't want to be on camera, but that's okay. So let's see here. How much snow are you getting in Syracuse, Cheryl? We're getting more rain and freezing rain and sleet. So you just got rain, Charlie. Wow, that's awesome. That's good for you. I cannot say the same. So currently we have some snow. Like there's a little bit I can see on my car, but it's mostly freezing rain. Just because that's just the way it went today. So I'm not even going outside to get the mail. Like, I don't care. I'm not going outside. I know I will fall. So I am home because Barb and Marlene obviously are not going to drive in this craziness. So they're home, and I wanted to just stay here. So we're doing Facebook from my couch. So, and you can see it's a very riveting topic of conversation. The dogs really don't care at all. So I'm going to apologize right now. There are plows going through. If they happen to bark, I am very sorry about that, but they are just very yappy. So what are we going to talk about today? Who knows? No, I'm just kidding. So I have a couple things I want to chat about today, and then we'll just kind of go from there. And as always, I'm happy to take your questions and answer anything that you guys want to know. Girls, Connie said hi. No, okay. I'm sorry, Connie. They don't care right now. They're just being jerks. So, first things first, you guys saw yesterday the new zippers, and I had to sew with them because, you know, why not? So I am really excited. I know this one was kind of like this was not controversial, but this was the one that was a lot of people were on the fence about, the tie-dye rainbow. Even me, I was like, I like it. I don't love it. I don't know. But I think with bright colored cork, it was super fun. And I put the little paw print on here. I do not carry these zipper pulls, but I will happily tell you where I got them from. I mentioned it a while back. There's too many decisions to make, and there's not enough space, and they could go on and on and on. So there are some really great companies that have cool zipper pulls. We're going to stick with our basics because it seems to work for us. This one came from Vala, V-A-L-A Creative, or no, wait a minute. It's ValaHomeCreative.com. I will link them so that you know where they came from. I think Charlie's the one that told me about this company, and I wrote it down so I remember this one with the shiny silver. Can you see that cool octopus? It's actually a rainbow, but it's the matte finish. Let me see if I can get that really close. Isn't that neat? I put that on with the chevron. So there's the tie-dye and the silver. And of course, gold. I did the gold, and I did a central perk. I have a ton of these zipper pulls from Friends, the Central Perk coffee shop. Apparently I just ordered them in every color, and I ordered as many as I could. I think I have them for like 17 more projects. I don't know. And then I also have this one, and I didn't write this one down, but I think this one and Central Perk, this is the sunflower. I think those are from Indo Love Creation. Again, I will make sure to link everything so you guys can go find them. So let me take a look at the comments. Shelly is getting freezing rain in Austin. Yeah, this weather is nuts. Like, so many people in Texas are being affected outside of like the normal things. Yes, yes, Charlie, Vala Creative Designs, something along those lines. I will get the actual website and I will link it for you guys. So forgive me, I'm looking at comments. So, and yes, Vicky Idle Blooms, I have ordered from them as well. I'm really bad about keeping track of where I get the zipper pulls from. So I'm constantly going back in my email and trying to find where I bought everything from. So I just happened to look those up, but Idle Blooms, I have purchased from them too. There was a thread going on in the group that somebody had started asking what zipper pulls fit our zippers. And so if I haven't already, I'll add them onto there, but I'll also put it on here when I post this video. So anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because I know some of you totally understood when I was talking about this a few weeks ago, is my complete lack of sewing mojo. My sojo, it's gone. It's not totally gone, but you know, it's coming back. It's come back a little bit. You know, I made some zippered pouches. I didn't get into anything big, but something that I am trying to constantly remind myself of, and it's hard to do, and I'm sure it's hard for you guys too, is reminding yourself that it's okay if you're not feeling it. Like it's okay if you need to take a break. It's okay if you just kind of aren't into it. And I don't, I know people say this all the time, and whenever someone says it to me, I'm like, ugh, but it's true. You know, when you're just kind of tired and you're just like, I just need a nap. I need to take a nap, but it's not normal for you. And people are like, but that means that your body's telling you, slow down, you're tired. And you always kind of go, ugh, why do you have to call me out on that? But I think not feeling excited about sewing right now, it's not that I don't want to sew. It's not that I don't enjoy sewing anymore. It's not that I'm, you know, calling it quits and walking away or anything. But I just think it's the creative side of my brain just saying, take a break. Take a little break, you know, watch some Netflix, hang out with the dogs, do whatever you want to do. Just kind of chill out for a little bit. And I have been. I'm trying to listen more. And so I'm excited about this weekend. We have our first virtual retreat of the year. I have nothing planned. I have some fabric and some cork here. I have nothing cut out. I have nothing planned. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm hoping that, you know, I'll sit at that sewing machine long enough and something will strike me. But whenever I'm in like a sewing rut, these are my go-to things to do because they're scrap friendly, they're super quick, and these are the unlined ones. So they're the ones that don't have any fabric inside. I just used scraps, and I didn't even use the sizes that I wrote in the tutorial. I just grabbed whatever cork I had, mashed it to my zippers, and just started cutting it and made a bunch of different sizes. I mean, look at this. Look at this tiny little thing. It's so cute. And this one, this is what happens when you have a square. It's a very square bag. It's kind of awkward, but I don't know, I kind of like it. So I didn't even think too hard, you know? I just wanted to sit at the machine and do something. So that's what I did. So I'm just reading some more of your comments here. Barbara said, I think it's the winter blues. The holidays are over and the weather is awful. 100%. It's that high of like that excitement of the holidays, and then all of a sudden it's done. And you're like, well, now what do I do? It's like, well, now what? And I am not one of those people that gets inspired by being stuck in the house. Like, I don't want to go outside right now. I'm not driving anywhere right now. I don't even want to walk to my mailbox right now. But this doesn't make me like, yay, it's a sew day. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more productive when it's nice out and when the days are longer, which somebody said the other day, we have 5 more weeks until the days get longer. I really hope that that's true because I'm super excited for that. So Cheryl has nothing ready either. Yes, I'm glad that you don't. I'm sorry that you had bad December and January. I'm not excited about that at all, but I am glad that you don't have anything ready. It makes me feel a little bit better. And Ginny said she's in a sewing funk. I think we all need this retreat more than we realized we do. So, and Bobby said, sewing is an art, so you need to feel, and then Facebook decided no more. You need to feel it and be inspired or you won't do your best. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. So let's all challenge ourselves. Let's try this weekend, okay? We're going to challenge ourselves to do something. Let's sew something. So even if it's a boxy pouch or something small, you have that bag that you just need to top stitch. Let's all try. We'll try our best. We'll see how it goes. So Rebecca said Mercury retrograde is over. I don't know about all that stuff. I don't understand any of that stuff, but every time I'm in a funk, I'm like, Mercury's in retrograde. I can't even say it. So Nobody has anything planned for this weekend. So basically for the next 3 days, we're just going to hang out and talk to each other, which is totally fine. So one of the other things that I have been trying lately, and this is part of what I want to talk about today, as well as irons. I'm very scattered. So far, 2022, my Facebook lives are so scattered. Thank you for sticking with me. That's all I can tell you. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is, it's sewing related, but it's not. It's business related, but it doesn't have to be. It's kind of one of those topics that, you know, things that just kind of come up and you just start thinking about. And so I just want to talk about it out loud. And you guys are my friends, and I always talk to you guys. And I hope that what I say helps one of you, or like kind of, you know, like encourages one of you, or maybe one of you will say something to me that will make me feel excited too. So one of the things that that I've been trying to do this year, I told you in the beginning of the year, I don't do what do you call them? Resolutions. I'm not a resolution kind of girl. It's not my thing. So I just feel like resolutions for me are setting myself up for failure. So what I like to do is I like to make little goals. It's not a resolution. It's different. It's a goal. And to try to push myself as much as I can. That way, it's not a resolution feels like I have to do this thing. I have to do it. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And then when you don't, you kind of feel sad about it. My goal and my current focus is on trying to put myself out there more. And what I mean by that, let me explain that to you. This definitely applies to any of you that have businesses. I know a lot of you make and sell bags, like I know Cheryl does. I'm just looking at some of the names popping up. Ginny is kind of getting into, you know, selling bags. So this definitely applies on that business side, but also personally, I'm doing this for me. It's for me altogether. I have a lot of anxiety. I've told you guys about that. And having an anxious brain makes you think in different ways and makes you convince yourself of things that, you know, I can turn a one-word text message into the biggest catastrophe that's ever happened. And it didn't mean anything, but in my brain, I took it a different way. So what I have been trying to do is to put myself out there more on a personal level and try to like meet people and connect with people on things outside of sewing, in the hopes that it would make me more, feel easier connecting with people off of my own page. And so I think I mentioned this a while ago. I'm in some other bag groups. I'm in a couple of other ones. And I kind of, you know, I watch and I listen. I don't say anything. I don't ever comment. I might like a post or, you know, like tell someone something is pretty every once in a while. If somebody mentions my name, I'll like that comment. I am not the person outside of my own stuff, outside of my own Facebook page and YouTube channel, where I'm like, hi, so many creations. Have you met me? I sell stuff. You should check out my website. I'm super bad about it. And I think the reason, it's kind of like this weird rejection fear and this weird, like, how do I say this? Like when I'm on my stuff, when I'm here talking to you guys came here because you like me, I assume. Or maybe you're here because you don't like me and this is entertainment for you. But I'm assuming most of you like me. So you came to me. So you're ready for me to tell you or show you whatever it is that I'm choosing. Going outside of that place, and maybe this is true if you make bags or you are writing your own patterns or whatever, going outside of my safe place, which you guys are my safe place, and saying, hey, look at me. It's this fear of, what if the comments are bad? What if someone goes, oh, I do know you, not a fan? Where here, I have the power of the delete button. So it's like this weird control and comfort thing. So I'm trying to be better about that. So in doing so, I'm working on myself personally. This ties into irons because we're going to iron stuff, but I'm ironing out my flaws. Did you get that? That was a good one, right? That was terrible. So I'm trying to, I've been, you know, kind of like talking to people outside of sewing. I have these two girls that do a podcast. If you listen to podcasts and you like horror movies, it's Two Chicks and a Horror Flick. I listen to them every week, every Wednesday. And in listening to them, you know, they're just kind of getting started. And so like we've had these nice conversations and we'll chat, you know, like on Instagram, and they have Discord. That's a whole other app. We're not going to get into that, you know. And so I've been kind of talking to them and meeting people through that. And it's really interesting because they don't know me as just from So Many Creations. They just know me as, I think she sews stuff, but she likes horror movies. Let's talk about that. So I'm trying to kind of, like have this nice conversation where I don't feel like I'm on display. I'm not trying to push a product. I'm not trying to talk about anything I do. I'm just like, oh, hey, you saw that movie and you liked it. I loved it too. What ones are you watching next? I'm trying to work there so that maybe I will not feel so awkward and fearful in other platforms of saying like, hi, I also write patterns. Oh, you're looking for a wallet pattern? I have like 6 of them. I have free tutorials on YouTube. So it's definitely the year of me trying to work on me. So I'm sorry, I'm totally rambling, but I know, some of you also have businesses and you don't always feel comfortable putting yourself out there. And that's one of the things that these 2 girls in this podcast are talking about. One of them, she's like, I find any opportunity to be like, hi, I'm Felicia. This is my podcast. She's like, I love when I meet new people. And I'm like, let's go around and talk about ourselves and introduce ourselves. I'll go first. Where the other one is like, I want to, but I don't know how to say it. And I always feel awkward. And I'm like, I get you both. I understand that. So in doing so, one of the other things that I have been doing, and I'm sure you guys noticed, I just saw Rebecca's comment, I know she noticed, is that I have been posting every single day since last Friday. So we're on a 7-day streak. I am trying to post constantly. I'm trying to put myself out there so that I reach as many people as possible. And I do it obviously for you guys. You guys have been there for me. Some of you for over a decade, some of you, just like the past few years that we've been kind of trapped in this hell of COVID, you guys have been there for me. And so I appreciate every one of you. And I do it for you to show you what I'm doing and to inspire you, but it's also to meet new people. And so I joined TikTok. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I'm clearly going viral. I have 18 followers right now. Yes, I have all of 18 and I don't know all of them. So that's a feat in itself, but it's just kind of fun. I'm learning a new app. I'm playing around with some new things and I get to put stuff out there and it's making me feel happier. And my husband commented the other day, it's hard to know how to take this completely. He said, you've been in such a great mood lately. I don't think I'm usually in a bad mood, but maybe he sees it that way. But it's making me happier because one, every day this week, I have gone into my video studio and I don't always get to go out there because I'm working for him and I'm doing other things and, it's just the way that it is. So every day I've been spending maybe 10 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, but I've been in my video studio. It is bright and happy and colorful, and it just makes me happy when I'm in there. So I've been spending time out there making these little videos. I've been figuring out new technology, which I know for some of you is frightening. For me, it's really, I enjoy it. There's some weird things about apps that I don't always understand, but I've been having fun with it. And then I get to put stuff out there and, show you guys what I'm doing and making these goofy videos. My husband is involved in them. I know you guys at this point have all seen the scissor video. There were a few people on the internet that thought I was serious. And I really did not think that anybody would take it seriously. I got a very concerned message saying, are you sure that you should be joking? Did he really use your scissors? And I was like, no, it is a joke. It never happened. My husband's really good. He wouldn't do that because he knows better. But it's just been kind of something fun for me, just to kind of get out there and try something new. So I am encouraging you guys to also try something new, try something different, get out of your comfort zone. It's a comfort zone for a reason because it's comfy and we want to stay there and we want to sit in that place that we know. And sometimes it's just choices of colors. Sometimes it's making the same pattern over and over again. Try something new. Try something different this weekend that you haven't done or that you haven't done in a while. I'm using funky zippers. I'm sewing again. I haven't done that. I pushed myself yesterday and it felt good. It felt good listening to my sewing machine. So that's kind of where my head's been at lately, is just trying different things. And I have challenged myself, we will see, I have challenged myself to post something every day for 6 months. We're on week 1, and so I'm doing good. And this might fall apart after week 2. I don't know, but I'm going to try really, really hard. So that's kind of where I've been at. So before we talk irons, I'm going to scroll back and look at some of your comments, see if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer questions about anything that you have today. So let's see. Everybody is having horrible weather. And nobody's prepared for the retreat. So we are definitely all in the same place right now. So, well, Cindy might actually be ahead of all of us. She has a pattern cut out and she's going to cut out another one today. So Cindy, you won. You're ahead of all of us for the retreat right now. So the rest of us are kind of, we're kind of slacking, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be a slacker sometimes. So Charlie's going to go out and get chocolate and he's just going to visit with us and eat chocolate. Charlie, I might do the same thing. And Cindy, we would love to see your new sewing room, so I'm excited about that. Good morning to everybody. So, yes. Ironing out my flaws, yes. Excuse me. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sorry. We're having a dog meltdown right now. Don't. Come here. Come. Okay. Ay. So, come here. Stop being a little fruitcake. Come here. Okay. All right. So, all right. I'm glad you guys are okay with this. Roxy's here. She's not happy about it. She's had a rough couple of weeks. So, Kay said, yeah, she's having to you pushed yourself to cut out your road trip bag. There's a lot of pieces on the road trip bag, so I totally understand. So, let's see. Yeah, Shelly, as far as Discord, I am beyond confused and baffled. It's an app that was not easy. It did not really make a lot of sense to me, but I'm slowly figuring that out. It's weird. It's reminding me of being in high school with AOL chat rooms. That's like the closest thing I can say, but finding things in there is very weird. It's very, very weird little app. So, oh, Katie, I was thinking about you the other day, and of course, in all of my nonsense, I meant to send you an email and I didn't. Katie said she applied for and was accepted for an ambassador for another pattern company for garment sewing to gain outside confidence. Jury's still out, but I'm trying. Katie, you're gonna do amazing. I already know that, so that's awesome. So I'm very excited for you guys. So, as far as following me on any of these apps, I have no idea how any of it works. It's weird. If you want to follow me, here's the thing about TikTok, okay? TikTok is a gigantic waste of time. So when you're in a funk, don't feel like doing anything, it's the best way to waste all of your time. The thing on TikTok, it's easy to find me. I'm So Many Creations NY, same as the website. The thing that I like about TikTok is that they have like different trends with sounds and they have different like sounds and music and stuff, but I can't always use that on other social media because they own like copyright, rights and all that bull. So if you're on TikTok and watch my original videos, you actually get the sounds and the music better, but it's just one of those things. And Linda said that the Zoom retreat is definitely out of her comfort zone, but you signed up. That's the best part. And here's the thing about Zoom. Zoom is not hard. And I know I say that and I use a lot of these different apps. Zoom's not hard. It's for you just have to log in, know how to turn your camera on and know how to mute yourself. And if you can't, I can help you with that. I have to know a little bit more, but not really that much. I mean, I was using it to teach, so that definitely helped me to like learn a little bit more. But the retreats themselves, since we're talking about comfort zones, all of last year in planning them were so far out of my comfort zone, so completely far out. When you guys were talking about doing them, I was like, but why? Why would you want to hang out with me for a weekend and stare at a computer? Like, I don't understand. So I was super nervous. If you were in my birthday bash last June, I was so nervous. I was so like, I don't know if this is going to go well. And I was scared that it was going to be boring. But we've all kind of gotten used to it and figured it out and we love it. And we have the core group of people that keep coming back, so they're enjoying it. They're finding it productive and having fun with all of us. And then we get some newbies that come in and it's fun. It's fun to see the newbies kind of like, listen to these conversations. We get off on some weird tangents, just like normal. So it's just, It's kind of crazy, but it's so super fun. And I find that everybody seems to be very motivated when they're in there, because you're just kind of like looking at what everyone's doing, and you just wanna, you wanna sew, and that's kind of your job for the weekend. You're in the retreat, your job is to sit at your sewing machine and sew. And so I think it's really helped everybody. So, oh, Michelle Mazurek, hi. Michelle is a local friend, but we don't know each other in person, but I know her husband and her son. So, but you actually get to watch me live, which is awesome, probably because you're stuck at home in the snow. Oh, Pam, your funk started in September. Listen, I understand. Yes, and Roxy is already done with us. She went back to sleep. Sorry, I'm just reading everybody's comments here. So let me just check my notes too, because I had some other things I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, so before we get into, I just want to talk about like irons and ironing a little bit, because I get a lot of questions about, excuse me, about irons. Is some of the things that also work for me, especially when I'm in a funk, some of the things that help me to kind of, push me out of it is, for me personally, because I'm kind of anal, if you haven't noticed, is making lists. I always make lists. I have lists everywhere. There's a list on my refrigerator. There's ones in the office. It's to remind me what I'm doing, and to also remind me of things that I thought of, because if I think about it today and I don't do it today, by next week I already forgot about it. So I make a lot of lists of things that I want to work on, patterns I want to write, things I want to try out, different color combinations. I make lists upon lists upon lists. For me, I'm really good with schedules too. So like knowing that I'm here every Friday with you guys on Facebook, this is part of my schedule. It's time that I schedule in. That also seems to help me a little bit, because it's something that I look forward to, and it's something to, kind of like push me to prepare. Am I fully prepared for today? No, and you can probably tell because I'm just sitting here chattering. But, it's schedules seem to work for me, and calendars. I still write in a paper calendar. Please tell me I'm not alone. I keep track of stuff in my phone because my phone's always with me, but I still write everything in a paper calendar. I like to see the month in front of me, and I like to write everything down, and I like to plan it all out. It seems to really help me. So let me see what other notes I have here, and then I'll check your comments. All right. I think I'm okay. Okay, I think I got all those. So Linda, you are not awkward around strangers. Trust me, I know this already. And we're all a little awkward sometimes too. And there are these moments of awkward silence, and it's probably not awkward to anyone else, but it is to me, I think, because I'm the retreat host, where we're sitting in a virtual retreat and we're talking and talking and talking, and we're all chatting and chatting and chatting, and then all of a sudden, we just stop. Everybody just kind of gets geared towards whatever they're doing, or maybe a few people have stepped out to go eat lunch or dinner, and then all of a sudden it's quiet. And I sit there and I think, is this okay? Should I be talking now? Should I say something? But that's my awkwardness, is like, is it okay that we're not talking? So don't worry. We are totally fine. Oh, good. Other people like paper calendars. Thank you. Yes, see, because Barb, yeah, paper calendar and also phone. Now, Barb, on the other hand, Barb's way of keeping herself going is Excel spreadsheets. She's crazy, but let me tell you, that woman has everything down. She has folders and binders. It's crazy. It's crazy in a good way. I'm very excited about it. So I'm glad that other people use paper calendars. Yes. So, okay, so we're going to jump into irons. Carol wants to know how I clean my iron. I'm not going to answer that yet. We're going to go back. We'll talk about that in a minute. But one of the questions I get asked a lot is about irons. What iron do I like? Do I like the expensive irons? What settings do I have them on? And especially with the last video that I put on YouTube, that people are kind of like, thank you for talking about the iron itself, because I think we kind of, forget about that. Whenever I'm doing anything where I'm like, now I'm going to iron this, that's where I stop. I don't tell you, what settings. I don't talk about the iron. So I did a little bit on the YouTube interfacing video. excuse me. So I wanted to show you the irons that I have and also talk about the irons that I don't have and why I don't have them. And trust me, I am not knocking anybody, but we all have to do what we have to do. And that's just how I feel. So the iron that you saw in the YouTube video is this one. This Sunbeam iron, that's gross. This Sunbeam iron, I believe I got either at Target or Walmart. And I've had several of them. I have one in the office, I have one here, and I think I have a backup somewhere. I'm not sure if they make this one anymore because last time I looked for it, I found this one. This is the one that I use at home. So it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's really no difference to me. I think, the biggest difference, and it's not really a big deal, is that this one has the control under the handle and this one has it up here. But I think they're both the same. Let's see, 1400 watts, and this is a 1400 watt. So I think this is the newer version of this one. So I'll grab this one because this one I just got on Amazon a few months ago. It's definitely out there. So why do I use cheap irons? Well, let me explain. So for many, many, many years that I have been sewing and quilting, I have always used cheap irons. And I kind of stopped for a little while and bumped up to not an expensive iron, but a slightly less cheap iron. And I was using Shark irons for a while, and I loved them because these Sunbeams and the Black & Deckers and all these little cheapy irons, I would just kept breaking them, and then they would leak, or they would get that thing where they sputter all the gross rusty water and whatever. And I went through like 6 of them in a year. So I was like, okay, I need to upgrade, but I don't want to pay $200 for an iron. Let me go to a little bit more expensive. And I started using Shark irons, and I loved them. I loved them so much. I talked about them so much that every shop that I was teaching at, because this is during my like major teaching phase, every single shop that I went to that I was teaching at, I was like, this is the iron. And all my students loved it, and the shop owners would buy it. Well, then something happened. Something went wacky with the Shark irons. They changed the way they made them, and every time I bought one, it leaked. And it leaked a lot. And these are like $50, $60 irons. Not super crazy expensive, but more than like my $30 and $40 Sunbeams. So I went back and I bought a Sunbeam, and I've been happy ever since. I am not big into Rowentas and Alisos and Euro Steams and all that. And I will tell you why. I'm cheap. I've told you guys that many times, and I'm not lying. I'm super cheap. When it comes to certain things, I find that there's areas in what we do where we can splurge and areas where I can save. Splurging is buying a nice, expensive, sewing machine. I want the top of the line sewing machine. Splurging is buying the good cork fabric and the nice zippers and the good quality hardware and the fabric from the quilt shop. That's my splurge. That's where I want to spend my money. Splurging, saving for me, I don't use SF101 and Decoville. I just use Decoville. That's a save for me. Saving using one kind of interfacing instead of 2 when I don't need to. And saving for me is this, because I have been at shows. I've traveled to shows for a long time. I've tried all those irons, and I even fell into it, and I bought one of them. I bought, it wasn't a Rowenta, because I heard so many not so great stories about those. If you have an older one, they seem to be better than the newer ones. I have heard nightmare stories about the Aliso irons. And if you have one and it's in great condition and still working, awesome. I'm happy for you. My issue with the Alisos, if you don't know, those are the ones that sit like this, that have the thing that pops on the bottom so that you never lift your iron so it stands up. My biggest complaint about that is not about it breaking. It's not about the iron itself. It's that the people that use these forget and leave it down all the time. So when I was teaching, I'd be like, you're burning the surface. You're burning your fabric, because you forget, because you're so used to this. And for me, every time I would use an Aliso, I'd try to stand it up, and it doesn't want to stand up on its end like this. So I've heard that the Aliso customer service is great in replacing any of the broken parts, which is fantastic. We all want good customer service. But I've also seen so many people that have had issues with them breaking and breaking and breaking. Like I said, I don't own one. I do not speak from personal experience. I just tell you what I see and what I hear. And so I said, I'm not going to buy one of those. It's not for me. So I like this one. It's heavy. There's not a ton of holes in the plate, so I feel like it gets good steam, but it's not so holy that it's like all steam. You know, you have a nice flat surface here. I do put mine on the highest setting, which they're all a little bit different. It's weird to me. This one, the highest setting is synthetic. No. Yes. No, hold on. Nope, that would be the lowest setting. Linen. And I think this one is also, yes, linen. Some of them just go up to cotton and wool, but I always have my iron, no matter what I'm ironing, on the absolute highest setting, always. Because, and I've said this before, I will not make adjustments to myself. I will do things the way that I am programmed and conditioned to do them and hope that they work. And for me, this iron, no matter what I'm doing with it, is always on hottest. It's also always on steam, unless I'm making handles and I remember to turn the steam off so I don't burn my fingers. But I don't go full blast on the steam. I'm usually in the middle. And I do use the steam button on the handle, but it's just one of those things that I don't read the instructions and I don't pay a lot of attention, and I just always have it on high. And I'm just seeing a few comments about people talking about irons, and like Frankie just said, she loves her Aliso, and that's awesome. And I'm glad that you like yours. And there's kind of that like weird, it's kind of like a weird gray area. There's people that are like, I love it, I would never buy another iron. And then there's people that are like, oh, I hate this thing, it's a pain, I don't like it. So you have to find the iron that works for you. For me, I like the cheap ones. The one that I did try out, the expensive iron that I bought, that I tried out, that I thought was going to be amazing, I really did, was one of those, I think it's a Euro Steam, whatever it is. It's the irons that they sell at quilt shows. There's always some guy going, look, and spraying steam and going, watch how great this is. And you fall into that trap where you walked by 17 times to go to the bathroom and you stop and you're like, all right, show me the iron. And so this guy is showing me this iron and I'm like, well, it's got tons of steam. It's based on steam. How awesome is that? I think this would be great. And so we're talking and he's like, oh, you make bags? And I was like, yeah, I use a lot of steam for fusible interfacing. You need this iron. And I was like, I do? So I bought it. I brought it home and I used it one time. $225 iron. I used one time. And the reason that I only used it one time is because it has a cap on it that you have to unscrew to put your water in for the steam because it's pressurized. And so when you run out of water on this iron, you open it up and put more water in it. When you run out of water on a pressurized iron, you can't open that up because you're gonna poke your eye out or put a hole in the ceiling. So you have to turn it off, let it cool down, let it simmer down, then you can unscrew it, put more water in it. That doesn't work for me. That just did not work for me at all because I need the steam and I can't stop in the middle of making bags to take a half hour, 45-minute break to go put water in an iron. So I'm not just saying that I don't like expensive irons. I bought one. I didn't like it. I gave it away. I gave it to someone. I said, take it. Just seriously take it, because what she wanted to do with it made more sense than what I wanted to do with it. As a bag maker, it did not work for me. So I like my cheapies. Here's another thing. I saw this trick at a quilt shop years ago and I've been doing it ever since. This is a creamer container. This is what I fill my iron up with, because irons either A, don't come with a cup, or they come with a cup that's this big. Iron companies, I need to know, why are you giving me a cup this big when your reservoir is twice that size? So I use this and I use tap water. I know, I'm a horrible sewer, but I use tap water. I don't do the distilled or the crystal or the clear or the whatever. I just use tap water. And I had read somewhere that when you're done, you should empty your water out and leave the little cap open so that you don't get any rust inside. I did that for a while and it didn't do anything differently. So now I just leave the water sitting in there for God knows how long. Sometimes it's months. I don't care. If I break this $40 iron, I'm not concerned. If I break a $200 iron, I'm going to be pretty mad at myself. Because if I have to buy 2 or 3 of these in a year, I'm still spending less than the expensive one. So that's just me. And I'm seeing a lot of different, comments on people that like one versus the other. I don't care what kind of iron you use, just like I don't care what kind of sewing machine you use. I'm going to tell you what I like and what I prefer, and you do whatever works best for you. Trust me, there's no judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. So before we go any further, let me scroll back because there's a lot of iron comments and I want to see them. I want to see what everyone has to say about irons. So see who agrees with me and who doesn't, and it's totally fine. I love having a heated debate about an iron. There's nothing wrong with that. So yes. See, and Terry likes an iron that has a lot of steam holes for wool applique. That totally makes sense. I get that. For me, I kind of want to be in the middle. I don't want too many steam holes, but I don't want obviously a flat surface either. And yes, and Bobby, excuse me, talking about retractable cords. This does have a retractable cord. I hit myself in the face every time I try to retract it, but at least I know where the cord is and I'm not stepping on it or vacuuming it up. So that's always good. See, now Shelly bought an Aliso and the lifters broke, got another one. The same thing happened and she reverted back. It's just the way that it is. I think sometimes we're lucky and sometimes we're not. So, oh, poor Cindy, her Aliso blows a fuse in her house every time. That's crazy. Jenny has the mini Aliso without the pop-up. I've seen those, and just because they're so tiny and cute, I want one. But I feel like I talk smack about the big ones that I shouldn't buy one of the small ones. But why are they so cute? Why is everything small so cute? This is why I have small dogs, because they're just so cute. Yes, Barbara says that Consumer Reports say that the less expensive irons are just as good as the expensive ones. It's Toyota versus Nissan. It's Bernina versus Janome. It's everybody is entitled to their opinion and everyone is going to feel a certain way, and that's fine. That's why we're all here, because we can learn from each other. Frankie loves her Aliso. Jolynn has a Pure Steam and loves it. I don't know that I've used the Pure Steam. I've seen those though. So Judy had Rowentas. And they do start to leak. I've noticed the newer Rowentas, and I think Marlene just said, I didn't see it, that they're, some of them are made in different places and some of them are made in China. So there's just so many different choices, and ironing's never going to be fun. Let's just move past that. Ironing is never going to be the most exciting part of our day. I'm never going to wake up and be like, I cannot wait to plug in my iron. That's not going to happen. I get excited about my sewing machine. I'm never going to get excited about this iron. But if the iron doesn't make me annoyed, if it's not spitting water on me, if it's doing its job, I'm happy. That's really all I'm looking for. I'm looking for heat, steam, and not messing up my fabric. That's it. So let's see here. Oops. What's going on with my mouse? Sorry. Barb usually does this. Barb, this is harder than it looks. So, and yes, Ray, some irons say to only use tap water. Some of them say not to. I don't know what the right answer is. I am not an expert. I just have a lot of opinions and I put them out on the internet. So if you put your eye out from a $225 iron, that is the worst. You're right, Charlie. I would rather put my eye out on a cheap iron. My husband is calling me because he keeps forgetting that I'm doing Facebooks and I'm ignoring him. We'll see how many times it's happened. How many times he forgets. So now see, Michelle has a Shark, and that is the one that I also had, the professional Shark. But for some reason, the last one that I bought and the last one that Lisa from Log Cabin bought, they both leaked terribly. And out of the box. Sorry, I'm texting him right now, so maybe he'll understand that I can't talk to him right now. So I'm just looking. Who you calling a steam hole? Amy, I'm calling you a steam hole. No, I'm just kidding. So one of the things too, portable irons. I don't have a portable iron. I had one for a long time, but wherever I go, like with retreats, we always have full-size irons. The one portable iron that I absolutely fell in love with was a Rowenta. That little purple one with the handle and you can put steam in it. So many of them say that they take steam and then they don't do anything. It's like these little irons are super cute, but then they kind of forget to do their job and get really hot. And I want this so hot that I feel the heat radiating off it. I want it so hot that it's dangerous. Like that's how hot I want it. So Cindy has a $14.99 iron and loves it. See, you can buy cheap irons. I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission, just in case you didn't know that you could. Yes. Oh, okay, hold on. I have to read this one. Diane splurged on the $200 Reliable Velocity. I have used those irons. Great steam when you want it and never leaks. awesome. I remember seeing those also at the shows. They always had a booth. I did have in one of my classrooms, I forget what show I was at, but they always had 4 irons, which is not enough irons for 24 people in a class. 6 people per iron is never going to it's never going to work, but it's the max that we can do in these classrooms. So they always had 2 regular like cord irons, and they had 2 of those Panasonic cordless irons. Those are awesome irons, but I have 2 small beefs with those irons. Number one, they're pointed on both ends, so they never can stand up because they're meant to go in the charger case. So for me, I keep trying to do this and the iron's falling over because they're pointed on both ends, but that's pretty cool. The only thing I did not like about those irons is that students, in their excitement of, sewing, they would just take it and plop it on top of the charger and not realize that it wasn't clicked into the base. So now the next person goes to use it and the iron's dead. But those Panasonic chargeables are super cool if you remember to actually hear the click and get it in there. So, Barb has little rodents. I think she means Rowentas. Barb, I'm only picking because it's you. For her long arm. See, long arm is different. You need different things there. And she loves her $29.99 Black & Deckers for the retreats, and that's what we used. Barb, I liked rodents better than Rowenta. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about it has to be rodents. It has to be. The last thing, and I've talked about this so many times, and I talked about it and showed you in that video. And if you haven't watched that video on YouTube, go check it out. Even if you don't care about the interfacing part, like what the different kinds of interfacing, go look at the clapper part and how I get wrinkles out and how I fuse. It's all about the clapper. And I had one a long time ago, and then I lost it and I stopped using it. This is my small one. I don't know where my big one is. I think I left it at the office. But using a clapper, if you are having ironing issues, especially with fusibles, get a clapper. Get a clapper, get a clapper. That's all that I can tell you, because this little piece of wood has made a huge difference in my ironing. It helps with pressing seams flat. It helps with fusibles adhering better. It helps with getting wrinkles out and flattening things out. I cannot iron without this. My big old jug for water and my clapper are second only to the iron when it comes to doing any of my ironing. And I don't say pressing because I don't really press too much. I iron. That's just how it is. So if you haven't tried a clapper, try one. I'm telling you, in your ironing game, it is a game changer. Still doesn't make ironing exciting, but it is what it is. I actually don't use any of my starches anymore, any of my best press or anything, because I just found that I don't need it with the clapper. So the last thing that I wanted to say, Carol had said, it was one of the first comments I saw, how do you clean your iron? Well, I don't. I've never cleaned an iron unless I've absolutely had to. If I get fusible on my iron plate, you can see this one's pretty new. It's nice and clean. I have used it, but it's fairly new. I scrape it on the side of the ironing board. Sorry. And I clean off the fusible. I have tried a few of the different cleaners, like the, they're not like the paste kind of cleaners. Most of them didn't do anything extraordinary. There was one that I used like probably 10 years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was the Dritz one that you put on a warm iron. It's like a paste and then you wipe it off. That one seemed to work pretty good, but I don't know. I just don't clean them unless I absolutely like get anything on it, and then I scrape it on the side of my ironing board. Really sorry. And other than that, I don't. I've heard all these, tricks of salt and different things and dryer sheets. If you've done something and you have something, let us know. We would love to know, but I don't. I figure by the time the iron gets really dirty, I should probably just buy a new one. I'm really bad about that. I'm terrible. I clean my sewing machine. I just don't clean my irons. So it's probably not the best way. So Peg wanted to know, and I'll show you one more time. These are the 2 irons that I have. I don't think that this one is available anymore. It might be. This is a Sunbeam. This is also a Sunbeam. They're both 1400 watt. They're pretty simple, retractable cord. They're a nice weight, so they do the job. This one actually feels heavier, and it's a little smaller. This one feels a little heavier than this one. Does this have, well, it has water in it. I don't know if that's making that much of a difference. They have a steam button, a spray button, steam settings, easy to use. They are the automatic shutoff. I don't think irons are made anymore without automatic shutoff. But you know, they do the job. This one is from Amazon. This one is either Walmart or Target. Those are really the only places I ever shop. So if it didn't come from one of those three places, I probably didn't buy it. Unless it's zipper pulls, and then I buy those everywhere. So let's see here. Let me go through because we're almost done for the day. Ray used a magic eraser. That is interesting. I have just recently started using magic erasers. I know they've been around forever, but I'm, you know, trying to clean my house here and there, so I do use them for that. I'll have to try it if I need it. Nancy said the board edges are a mess because you do the same thing. Sorry, it's not a great habit to have, but it happens. And Linda said the little clapper fits in the Sammy for pressing, and that's why I always have the little one. The big one has a little bit more of a point and then a wide end, but this one fits inside of bags, and I iron on top of it. And I did talk about that a little bit in the interfacing video, so check that out if you haven't. Also subscribe and click the notification bell and follow the page and do all that stuff. All that stuff I'm supposed to tell you about as a business owner. I am slowly getting to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is exciting. Oh, and let me also tell you this quick little story here, because I just have a lot of things to say today. Okay. Oh, Barb said that there's no auto shut off on the little Rowenta. Interesting. That's very interesting. So just to kind of wrap this all up, we were talking about ironing and our flaws and working on ourselves and all that good stuff. If you missed earlier, go back and watch it when it's not live. One of the things that I just kind of wanted to say, and I'm saying this to all of you who have a business and are not feeling like you're getting the, the love for your business that you want. You're not selling out every day. I'm saying this to all of you that are still beating yourself up over something, still saying, and sometimes you say it out loud and sometimes you just say it to yourself, I'm just still not good enough. I'm not a good sewer. My top stitching's terrible. I don't know how to pick out fabrics. To every one of you that says those things about yourself, or that sees that you're not growing as fast as you want and you're not getting to your goals as quickly as you want, let me tell you a little story here. I very badly wanted to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. That was my goal, a little goal I set for myself. It doesn't mean anything outside of my own brain. It's not like I get something for 10,000. It's not for any reason except I picked that number. I was getting closer. I was growing. I'm like, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers. It'll make me feel happy. And I ended the year with over 8,000. I am currently at about 87, almost 8,800, which is awesome. I'm not unhappy about that at all. But I didn't hit my goal. It didn't kill me. I'm still here. I'm still on YouTube. I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up on it. It's barely been 2 years. It hasn't even been 2 years. So I'm working really hard on this. So the other night, when I was in one of these Discord chats, Discord is an app that none of you have to worry about. It's weird, but I'm trying to figure it out. Talking to these podcasters that have nothing to do with sewing. We're just chatting about movies and things like that. Somebody on there, I follow them and they follow me back, which is fun. And one of the girls mentioned that I have this big following on YouTube. She has over 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. And they're calling me in this group chat, the queen of YouTube. And it's funny to me because in their world, in their chat, it was a big deal. It was huge. How'd you do that? Do you have any tips for us? And I'm like, honestly, no, I don't. I just kind of do what I do and it works. And certain platforms work better for me than others. I have more followers on Instagram than I do on Facebook, but I talk to more of you on Facebook. You never know where your followers are, where your people are. You are my people, but weirdly enough, I have more followers in other places. It's weird. So that's why I joined TikTok. We'll see what happens. I'm up to 18 followers. I'm doing amazing. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you sit and compare yourself to other people. Because in this group, they're like, whoa, you have 8,000? That's amazing. Where if I compared myself to the rest of YouTube, one of my friends, Vanessa from Crafty Gemini, she has 600,000 followers on YouTube. So if I sit and compare myself to her, I am small potatoes. I'm not even a French fry. I'm nothing. I'm absolutely nothing. Why do that to myself though? So if you're sitting here and you're like, I started a business and I'm not selling bags all the time and I'm getting feedback that, you know, like, oh, it's nice, but then they're not spending money. Or I'm making bags and everyone isn't going, oh my God, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's okay. It's okay. Though that's not necessarily your people. You have to find your spot, find your place. And it's okay if every place is not your place. It's okay if it takes you a little while. I have been in business. So Many Creations has been a pattern company. I'm not talking about what I did before this. I've been a pattern company for, now I have to do math, 11 years. This February will be my 11th year. I didn't do great for like 9+ years, 8+ years. It took me a while. I did shows, I tried social media, I did other different things. You have to try it all and don't quit. I don't want to see any of you quit. Post more, put some posts up there, make yourself a goal. My goal is once a day. It's unrealistic to an extent, but I'm going to make it work. And if once a day is too much for you, do 2 times a week. You know, you want to start a YouTube channel, go do it right now. There's no better time than right now. That's all I'm saying to you. And that was one of the conversations that I had with one of the guys that I met, another podcaster. He's like, I want to start a YouTube channel. Like, what's your best advice? And I was like, do it right now. What are you waiting for? Because waiting is not going to change anything. It's not, you're not going to make anything different happen by waiting. Start it. I didn't know what I was doing. My first YouTube videos were just my Facebook Lives because I had a video to upload. I was terrified of YouTube. I don't understand equipment and uploading and all that. I did it. And I'm not a genius by any means, but I figured it out and you can figure it out. And I'm just seeing a couple of other comments here. Charlie said, you can buy followers, but numbers mean nothing. Substance is everything. Please go back and read that comment. Let me read it one more time because Charlie just summed it all up. You can buy followers. Numbers mean nothing. Substance is everything. I don't care that I don't have the highest numbers ever. Is it exciting when it happens? Sure, of course. Am I going to get super excited when I hit 10,000? Absolutely. I was excited when I hit 100 because I am not doing giveaways and trying to buy people's attention. I want you to come to me because you like me, you like my content, you like my product, and maybe you like my dogs. I don't care. Maybe you like my husband. Whatever. You can have him. Just kidding. But you know, it's not all about that. So if you're in a business right now, or you're doing whatever your goal was for 2022, and you're like, huh, it's February and I still haven't done anything, it doesn't mean anything. It literally means nothing. Keep going. Do not quit. Keep putting stuff out there because I'm going to keep making annoying TikTok videos. Even if I peak at 18 followers, I don't care. I'm doing it for me. There's an audio that people are using and it cracks me up because it says, why do you keep making these TikTok videos? I have well over 4 users worldwide. I feel that way sometimes, but I don't care. I'm doing it because it's fun. So that's all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My dogs are completely asleep, so I have bored them to tears. They don't want to hang out with me, and that's okay. The dogs are a bonus, Bobby, but my dogs right now are just being a poop. There's Zoe. She's at least cute, curled up in the corner, but Roxy's under a blanket. So that is all. I am going to wrap this up for today. I'm going to go back and check everything out, make sure I haven't missed anything. If I miss anything, it's because I'm here by myself, so don't be upset. Terry said, as I've said before, I plan my Fridays around watching you at 11. Well, you are just too sweet. And I plan my weeks around you guys. One quick thing before I go, I almost forgot, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm sorry. As I'm reading this lovely comment, I will not be here next week. The reason is I am going to Long Island to visit a high school friend who I haven't seen in several years. And also the reason I'm going is because my little sister, my little PhD candidate sister, is doing a tour of Stony Brook and has invited me to come along with her. So I'm going to be like the, substitute mom for the weekend. So I am so sorry. I will keep posting some things, but I don't think on Friday that I'm going to be in a great place to be able to do a video. But let me see what I can do. I'm going to say that 99% I won't be on Facebook Live, but let me see if I can figure out something that might be kind of fun for you guys. It probably won't be sewing related if it's here, and it will probably be short, but let me see if there's something fun. I'm thinking now, if I can maybe get my friend involved and we'll do something fun, but don't count on it. If I'm not here, that's why, and I'll try to remind you guys, I will be here the following Friday, and hopefully I'll have something awesome and actually to demo. It won't just be me talking about irons and TikTok. So I thank you for hanging out with me as usual. I love my Fridays. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. If you're in the retreat, I will see you in 2 hours, and get ready to sew, ? Chat, eat, whatever. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. All right. Have a good weekend. Bye.